Alright, I got a mobile one today. So this is a 1998 Camry. Mobile guy came down, it was a crank no start, and he said there was no fuel. So he gave fuel, it still wasn't starting. He ended up finding out that the timing belt was ripped. So yeah, well, that will definitely cause a no start. He changed the timing belt, he actually just finished, and he said it still doesn't start. Well, he got a code reader in there. I'm still on a jack, so was there any codes? Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna crank it now. Oh, he was putting booster pack on it. Alright. Alright, so the car's cranking. I'm getting a fluctuation in the RPM, so I'm assuming that we have good crank sense signal. I'm just gonna check for spark quickly. So I'm gonna ground a test light. Just make sure it's a good ground. And it's not. That's what we check. Alright. Now, I got here a spark plug boot, which is. There you go. I don't know if you can see, but I have spark. Alright, stop. Alright, so I got spark. So that's telling me the crank sensor is most likely good. Let me just check for injector pulse quickly. So you can just do it easily with a test light. So turn the key on. Alright, so I got power on one side and power on the other. So I got to see which one is the signal. So I'm gonna unplug it, and this is gonna have power, and this one doesn't because I'm only reading power through the thing, through the injector. So let me plug it back in. Okay, and the back probe bit right here. I should have power because I'm going through the coil of the injector. All right, crank. And it's flickering. So I have injector pulse and I have spark. So this thing's probably just missing fuel. I'm gonna spray fuel and see if it starts for a second. If it does, we're gonna diagnose why we have no fuel. Again? I'm still not getting it. What else? Now, it could be the timing's off. It is possible. Alright, so I'm going to go after the fuel pump, even though I pulled the spark plug and it smelled like fuel, but it wasn't wet, so I don't know. But here's the fuel pump relay. Let me just see what we got here. So I'm connected to ground. So we got, this is going to be the load side right here. You turn the key on, yeah. Let me just make sure. Okay, so that's a ground. All right, so I got a good power, and this should be ground because it should be going through the fuel pump, and it is. Okay, good. So I know the wire is good to the fuel pump. Now, do we have a command? So I got power from here, and this is a ground. Turn the key off and then back on. Back on. Okay. So I'm getting nothing here. I'm not getting a command on. Crank it. I am getting a command on. So the fuel pump's turning on. Hold on. I'm going to feel a click. Crank it. Let go. Again. Yeah, I definitely feel it clicking. Let's just swap this relay just to make sure. Do it now. I definitely felt the click. I probably felt the click in this one also. But all right, so now I have to make sure there's actual fuel pressure, which I think there is because I smell fuel and we have spark. Now the plugs did not look good, so it could be we're just looking at a situation where we have bad plugs and it got flooded. We're going to do a relative compression test with trigger wire on this one and just make sure it's firing at the right time. That's just the easiest way to check timing on these older cars. All right, so let me get set up for that. All right, let me just set up. I'm going to use the Pico so I could show you. All right, we're going to put a hand clamp on channel A. That's gonna go around either the positive or negative. Positive seems easier, so we'll go right here. Keys on, that's why we see current. Let's go on, we're going to 500 amp. And then channel B, we'll put a pickup on the wire on cylinder number 1. Alright, we're going to clip this on right here. And this just goes to ground. It's just to protect the scope. Alright, let's put the time base on 500 milliseconds. Alright, go, crank it. Yeah, I gotta get a booster for that. These terminals could definitely use some help. Try now. Alright, you good, stop. Okay, so this is inverted, but it doesn't matter. If we look at it, I'm clearly firing at top dead center. Yeah, it just flipped over. But see, the compression goes up.
And my timing belt again.
Yeah, so the timing's on for the what's called the ignition timing's on. We have even compression. I really have to check fuel pressure. That's what I really have to do. All right, so here's the plug. It's definitely covered in a lot of deposits. It smells like fuel, but
that's so strong.
No, I smell pretty strong. But it's not sopping wet in fuel. That's usually what you see when it's like flooded. So I don't think it's flooded. The question is this plug just bad, or all the plugs that look like this? All right, I'm gonna put a pressure transducer in the cylinder. I just want to make sure the valves are opening, because you could have compression without valve opening if it's closed. Just let it calibrate. All right, that clicks on over there. Alright, so that'll be channel C. Alright, crank. Alright, stop. Alright, so here we got the 4 cylinders. This looks funny. This doesn't look right. There's no vacuum. There's no vacuum whatsoever. What do we got? We have how many pounds of pressure? We have 167 pounds of pressure. We got that little weird. So let's see what's happening here. So this is the exhaust. Let's go to 0 on there. Okay, that's the 0 line. We definitely have some sort of blip, but you see how it's not going into vacuum? Usually it's going to go into vacuum a little bit. Yeah, something looks really off with this capture. Hey, it should draw into vacuum right here. It's as if the valve's maybe stuck. Wait, if it's stuck open, then it can't be stuck open because it's getting compression. So let's think compression stroke, power stroke. That usually goes into vacuum until this valve opens, the exhaust valve opens. Something's definitely wrong here. Alright, so something had to be off with the timing, the way that waveform looked. So we just pulled the cover. Now, he marked it with this notch over here to this white one. This little white thing over here. If you look at service information, you're supposed to use that hole in there to the marking on the back. Now, when you have it, it's supposed to be a top to center. So I put a extension in here. And I'm just gonna mark it. I think this is top to center right here. I'm just putting a mark on it. I'm not sure if it's perfect, but now he's gonna turn it and we're gonna see. It's gonna go down now, but right now we're off his mark already. So we were not at top to center. So I think we were 180 out. See, it's going in now. It's coming back up. Oh wait, it goes even higher. So this is top to center right here.
Right, sure. Hold on.
I'm just marking that in case, and we'll know if it's the third one. Okay, go. Yeah, okay, that's top to center. The second mark I made. So now let's try to get it to top to center. So you see, that was your mark right here, and it's definitely not top to center. So I think we're 180 out. So now, all right, so we lined it up, and his mark is on with our mark here. The problem is we're not at top to center, so we got to take the bottom one off and line the bottom one up, make sure it's at top to center at the right mark, and then this car should start. All right, we pulled it apart, and I found we lined it up to the correct notch. So I'm trying to get it one-handed. Right
Very hard to see.
there where my finger is, there's a little indentation that's supposed to be lined up with the back plate. Now that we lined this up, we're at top to center. And if I look over here, my thing's at top to center. If you turn it, there's my mark right on the stick. So now all we have to do is fix up, take the belt off, put this in the right place, because now we're way off. Yeah, we're fully 180 out. That's what I thought. You see, right over here is the mark where it has to be up here. And yeah, I think if we fix this car should start right up. But we gotta pull the belt off and fix it. All right, so we put it back together in the right spot. Everything looks fine. We twisted it, it stayed into place. I put the plugs back in. One of these boots is ripped, so we needed new plugs. He's putting new plugs and wires on. All right, start it, let's see if it goes. And wait, I don't know if we're gonna have enough power. Try again. No, we're down to 6 volts. All right, been letting it charge while we start putting stuff back together. All right, give it a shot. I don't know. It's not. It like caught for a second, but it's not starting. I mean, I definitely hear the misfire from this one that's missing the piece. We're gonna put plugs in this and new wires. I'll see what happens.